Alright guys, time for some Q&A. So I have 3 questions that have been asked by some people on my social media accounts on YouTube, on my email, and also on Instagram. And I'm gonna answer these questions. These are, I think like these questions kind of answer like many of the other questions I get regarding teaching English abroad as a hijabi or whoever you are. Hi, I found your channel after searching Muslims in Spain. As I've been considering moving to Spain to teach, I was wondering if you could give me some advice about teaching abroad. I'll tell you a little bit about myself. I'm a 24-year-old female born and bred in the UK, but from a Pakistani background. I am a qualified teaching assistant. I'm currently in my 2nd year of Open University, and I don't have any TEFL qualification at the moment. I would like to teach somewhere that isn't overly racist or Islamophobic. I was wondering if you could recommend any legitimate agencies, institutions in China or Spain that I could find work through. I'm not too sure whether I would I will have any chance finding work in either of these countries without a degree of or TEFL certificate. Do you know any places that would consider taking on people like myself? Is there any chance of me finding a decent teaching job in Spain without a degree or TEFL? The fact that you have a teaching degree should help you land a job in wherever you are. So like I said, like the TEFL usually I think really is for people that don't have like a background in teaching, but if you have some kind of certificate or like university or educational background that says you've taught and shows your experience, I think you should be fine. Honestly, like I don't know if I can give you a good answer for that, because the whole world, they're good and bad in everywhere in the world, and so like I can't tell you like, okay, China isn't racist or China isn't Islamophobic or Spain isn't the same. So I mean, maybe some places have less of that. I just think like you should just go. Don't let that bother you, honestly, if I'm to give you my honest opinion, because if we are always worried about like a place being like accepting towards us, we would not reach far and we wouldn't have an impact. Like some of these places that, you know, that even have like maybe some skewed views, have never met Muslims before, and like the only knowledge they know about Muslims or people of color is through the television. So like I think like even going to some of these places might change people's mind, and at the same time teaching English, you're basically helping the people to have more opportunities outside of their home, or you know, even or to find better jobs. So like that answer is very varied, and like Spain has its challenges and it also has its blessings. I've seen hijabi English teachers in Spain. I've seen hijabi English teachers in China as well. So yeah, they are there, and like I think like the more like people like us go out there, go out of our comfort zone and go to some of these places, the more you're representing in the diversity of wherever you're from. And you know, of course, be good, represent your country well, and this will leave a lasting impact and even help people that are coming. So I hope I answered your question. So I would say, like, you know, because you're from the UK, I think you shouldn't have a problem if you're going to Spain. Just literally just show up in Spain and you're definitely gonna have a job. Yeah, and you shouldn't have a problem. Like if you want me to name agencies, I can name some, like, you know, the British Council for like people from England and the UK and Ireland. So like they have the British Council, like they have data that a lot of people go through. So those are some like well-known agencies in Spain that take a lot of people. They're more diverse, like they kind of they're more lenient than maybe in private agencies. And for you going to Spain, literally just show up, like I said, and like you're gonna have a job, and yeah, or you can teach in academies, or you can give private lessons. I'm not really sure about China because I've never like applied for China, or I've never taught in China, but I know like David ESL has a lot of like recruiters that look for people, so just basically apply there, and so hopefully you'll find something. yeah, and then one more thing for Spain, also this website called Lingo Bongo, you can find a lot of teaching jobs or any job really that is for people that speak English. So yeah, that's another resource or website you can find. I'm gonna put that down in the link below somewhere. Question number 2, Salam Karima, I'm not sure if you remember me, Fitr from Singapore. The last time I spoke to you in February, I mentioned to you that my heart lit up after you mentioned you moved to Spain to teach English. Well, guess what? I just graduated with 4 distinctions and certified to be an English teacher. Smiley face. I hope you're doing well. I'm enjoying your posts in Spain. Guess what? I will be in Spain in January and wanted to ask you which are the 2 top cities to visit in Andalusia. I've been to Cordoba and Granada on top of my list as I don't really have much time to spare. Only 6 days before I fly back from Madrid. Also, if there are any teaching opportunities in Spain and they wouldn't mind the Singapore passport, do share with me. I appreciate all your help. Thanks for reading my posts on Spain. I really appreciate when you guys read what I write. Top 2 cities to visit in Andalusia. You already said it, Cordoba and Granada, or you can say Granada and Sevilla. Granada kind of has to always be there. So like, I think if you visit Granada, you're gonna be very happy and like satisfied and like, I don't know, you just feel amazing, amazed. Basically, Granada is an amazing city. I love that city so much. I can talk about Granada all day, but that's for another time. But yes, Granada, and then I fell in love with Sevilla. I don't know what Sevilla has, but I just love that city too. So like, if you don't go to Cordoba, I would just say Sevilla. Actually, to be honest, let's just be honest. I'm gonna say Granada and Sevilla. But if you haven't been to Cordoba, okay. Honestly, just go to 3 of them. Granada, Sevilla, and Cordoba, because like each of them has something great. Okay, for like Cordoba, just go for 1 day because there's not much to see in Cordoba. Like there's like the Mezquita Iglesia de Cordoba, which is like the church and the mosque of Cordoba. So if you can, do Granada, Cordoba, and Sevilla. But if you're to pick between 2, you can either do Granada, Cordoba, or Granada, Sevilla. You have a Singaporean passport. That is quite hard because, like I said, it's not among the 7 countries, so that could make it a bit challenging. So for you, if you're brave, you can come to Spain and like just try for the first 2 months, apply everywhere and like kind of show your teaching certificates and your experience and like just to prove that you can teach English. But the safer way I would say is like going through programs like I'll say beta because they accept people that, like I said, that like have like they went to an international school or just kind of show that they've had English in their life for an extensive period of time, so they kind of give you more of a chance. But you can try that, or you can try to do private lessons, but that's just more of the, if you're really a hustler, you can try to do private lessons. In any way, like people are always looking for teachers, but I have to be honest with you, like with a Singaporean passport, it might be a bit challenging. But if you want to be risky, or you want to be brave, you can just come for like a month or 2 and like, you know, try, apply everywhere, apply to beta, and see like what the chances are. I have finished university in Australia and I'm considering teaching English abroad to gain some money, and I'm currently completing a TEFL course online with I2I. I noticed that you have taught overseas and would love any tips on how to get a job online or possibly overseas. Maybe a Muslim or Arab country would be okay for my parents to agree to. Although like those still not too sure how my parents would react. Keep up the good work, it's awesome. Kind regards to Maya. Awesome, like if like from what I'm gathering, like it seems like you're from Australia and so you have an Australian passport, so that shouldn't be a problem. You're among the like the 7 countries I mentioned before, and that's also awesome that you're getting the TEFL certificate, so that gives you an advantage to be able to teach English. You kind of mentioned that you want to teach in like Muslim or Arab countries, so you can teach in Morocco. I know like Morocco does this, and like the Middle East, or yeah, in the Gulf countries. Something to mention, for example, if you're targeting countries like Dubai or Saudi Arabia, like usually they have like a minimum of like 2 or 3 years, I'm not sure, of experience with teaching English. So like their requirements are a little bit high. So although they pay a lot of money, they kind of require you to also have that additional like in-class teaching of 2 to 3 years. There's something to note. So you asked me also like tips on how to get jobs online. So like some really good websites like you can check for places in the Middle East or like Muslim or Arabic countries. You can check teachaway.com or goabroad.com, or you can also and also like your the certificate you're going through, like the company you're going through to get your TOEFL certificate, they should like be able to give you job guidelines or job agencies or job boards to apply to. Because I know like when I did it with International TOEFL Academy, they had like a whole PDF form of like different countries with different job boards and different like agencies that hire teachers. So yeah, you should ask your agency if they have that. If not, like you can also message me and I can send you some things as well. Okay, that's all I have for now. Just some key takeaway before we leave. Come out and be brave. Don't be scared just because I'm telling you some of these things, or because you know the world treats people like us badly. You still have to come out and show yourself. So my tip for you is basically have all your documents ready. Like if you're from one of the 7 countries, that makes your life a little bit more easy. Another tip I'll have to say for you is like countries like Asia, that could be hard as well to get like a teaching job if you wear a headscarf or you're a person of color. And my advice for you is like focus on like you know, going to like applying to schools that are like mostly Westerners, like Americans or other Western people, because I mean America is not perfect. I'm gonna use like America for example right now. Like America is not perfect in terms of race relations. You've probably seen it on the internet, but people are more aware about basic level of how humans should be treated, or like there's like some basic protocol or basic understanding like things that people in the West understand. Like for example, not like throwing someone off because of the way they look, or like judging them just from their appearance through their resume or stuff. So they're more open-minded, I would say, than like if you're applying to an agency that is Asian or of people of Asian descent, or like you know a Korean agency or like a Chinese agency. So like you know if you can target like Western agencies, like or like that have mostly American workers. Another tip I have for you is like if you have a friend or you know someone in a school that you are applying to, this is for Asia especially, actually everywhere really, you know, use them as a referral, like to get in the door. So I know like some of my friends that taught in Korea and like they wear headscarf, they had a friend in there that helped them, and also helped me in Spain when I was looking for a job. One of the jobs I was looking for, like I had a friend that was in a school and she kind of passed the contacts to me. So yes, if you have a friend, you know, get referrals from them, and that gives you a higher chance of getting hired as well. Last but not least, do not give up. This is the most important advice I have for you. Do not give up. Don't think like, oh my gosh, like no one's hiring me, I can't live my dream, travel around the world or live abroad because of my headscarf. Maybe I'm gonna take off my scarf. Do not do that. This is who you are, and you have to like be strong. Like these are just trials and challenges, but they're possible. Like I mean, when people see you standing or teaching, it's in front of a class of foreign nationals, it's very impactful, it's very powerful. You don't know this, maybe you don't, but it really has a huge impact and it says a lot. And they are basically representing like what true diversity is of your country. So do not give up. This is my last tip for you. And yeah, if you have any more questions for me, send me messages on my Instagram, Facebook, on my blog, or just email me at contact@hijabiglobetrotter.com, and I'll love to answer your questions. So that's all I have for now, folks. Thank you for watching. See you soon. Hasta luego. Bye.